Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm a short, overweight, middle-aged white dude. I've got thinning brown hair, black gloss, I'm wearing a black t-shirt, and I'm sitting in my Tesla Model Y because in this video, we're going to have a look at all the features that came out in the latest update of late April, early May 2023 for the Model Ys and Model 3s. Some really cool features that they've added to the Teslas. Now, something that I really like, and I've said this before, is that I really like the fact that I think Tesla engineers probably drive Teslas and they're probably frustrated by all the same things that us Tesla drivers are frustrated by and things that we think could be improved. So I think a lot of the features that have come in this latest update are quite a lot of things that quite a few people have been saying, oh, it would be nice if the car would do. So let's jump in and see what these things are. I will also mention that I'm a bit late to the party with this update, but not all Teslas get the update at the exact same time. So this is just when my car got the update. So there's that. So to go and find what's been released in the update is you go into the car settings, you go to software, and then tap on release notes. So the first thing is that they have changed the font size. So you can make the font bigger or smaller on the screen. Now, it's really interesting. I noticed this as soon as I did the update, is that your speed is different in the on the monitor. And it's interesting because this is something that I actually mentioned in a couple of videos before, where I've said it would be nice if we could make particularly the speedo a little bit bigger or what have you. And after saying that, I don't like it. No, I'm terrible, aren't I? You know what, I appreciate the fact that it's a bit bigger, but the thing that I'm not a fan of, and I know this is really nitpicky and pedantic, but the size of the, like the line of the font seems thicker. So like I would have preferred if they made it bigger but not thicker, if that makes sense. Now interestingly, that is big regardless of whether you make the text size bigger or not. So to make the text size bigger, you go to controls, display, scroll down to text size, and you've either got standard or large. So if I tap on large, it does need to reboot the system in order to change that text size and make it bigger. Yeah, so I also find that this reboot seems to happen a fair bit quick. So there we go, we've rebooted, and now the text size is larger. And what I'll actually do is I will put a 2-up display of this to show you that here is the bigger text size, and on the other side, so here will be the big one and here will be the small one. You can see them side by side to compare the sizes. I think this is too big, so I'm actually going to go back to the standard size, but I really do appreciate the fact that we now do have the option of whether we go bigger or smaller for text size. And I've just noticed that I didn't clean the screen, so it's going to have fingerprints on it, but I'm going to just live with that. Next one is control search. Now this is again a really great feature that I think has been added, because I have found that all the controls and stuff that you use on the Tesla, it's discoverable, but it's not obvious for everyone as to how to do something. So now if you go to the top left hand corner, tap on search, and for example, if I want to change my windscreen wipers, I start typing in wipe, and it finds my wiper settings, and I can change the settings on my wipers. So that I think is a really, really great addition to the control areas. The next one is point of interests. And what this is if you're going on the map, so if we bring the map up and we go to, actually let's go find a charger. So for example, if we go to Camberwell, you can see there that it shows us now photos of the charger. And I think this is really, really useful, because I've found sometimes that when I am looking for a charger, navigating to a charger, I get there and the map tells me it's here, but it might be on the other side of the building or something like that. And so I'm just not sure exactly where it is. So having photos so that we know kind of what we're looking for or where we're looking, I think that's really handy. And it's not just for chargers. So for example, if we have a cart in Moonee Ponds, Kmart in Moonee Ponds, again, the photo, I mean, it's photos of the store, but you get reviews. So again, not a big deal, but a nice little addition, particularly for chargers. I think having photos of what the charging area looks like might make it a little bit easier to find them for some chargers that aren't as, if you've never been there before, and let's say it's, you know, round the back, makes things easier. So next thing is speed assist. Now this is something that I had assumed the car did in the past, but I guess it didn't, and now it does. So now the cameras on your car will recognize speed signs and adjust. So for example, if you're driving past a construction site, it will notice the speed signs of the construction site. So let's say it's normally an 80 zone and now it's a 60 zone or a 40 zone, your speedo will recognize that. And if you're on adaptive cruise control, now it doesn't say here when you're on adaptive cruise control, but I assume it does work on adaptive control because the image here is of you on autopilot. So yeah, that's a pretty nice thing. Phone calls. This is something that I think it should have done from the beginning, but it's nice that they've added it. So in the past, if you've gotten a phone call, you've had to either answer or cancel the phone call down here on the screen, whereas now you can cancel or answer the phone just by clicking on the left-hand scroll wheel. So that's a nice addition. Scroll wheel customizations. I had a bit of a read of this, but I haven't tried it yet. So you've got far more controls now that you can do things with the left-hand control wheel. So if you click and hold on that, you see it brings up a menu. And at the moment, I've got it set to fan speed, so I can change my fan speed from low to medium to high. But if I, oh, no, let's just go to low so it's not so noisy. But then if I go to menu, I can then adjust my temperature. I can have it do nothing. I can go to adjust the brightness, save dash cam, acceleration mode, steering wheel, cameras, defrost, dome light, open glove box. And I've got a code on my glove box, but there we go. So you can now use the scroll wheel to do a whole bunch of things. And I'm actually just going to go back to the menu. So left hand side, go to the menu, go up to adjust what it is you want it to adjust. And so I can say, right, well, I want this to adjust my steering wheel heating or what have you. So being able to do more with the scroll wheel, I think that's a really, really good feature. Gear chimes. I'm not a fan of this one. But again, I'm glad that we can turn it on or off. And if you do like it, you can have it. So how this works is basically if you put the car into gear, if I put the car into drive, if I put the car into park, it will make that doo-doo-doo sound. I'm not a fan, but my wife really likes it because she's used to driving a car still with the indicators on the right hand side. So every now and again she'll change the gears when she doesn't mean to. Obviously the car doesn't let her, but she really likes that. I'm not a huge fan, so I am going to turn it off, at least for my profile. So let's just go back into my profile. And let's just check where we go to turn that off. So we go to control, safety, gear chimes. So controls, safety, gear chimes. And I'm going to turn that off for myself because, as I said, I'm not a fan. Next feature is getting to know your Tesla. So now if you go into the app section of the Tesla, there is now a manual in there. And, oh, is that? Now, it's possible that I've just never noticed it before, but I think that's new, that it shows you your wipers, your heated steering wheel, front and left passenger seat. I think that's new. I don't think that was there before, but that's, yeah, so that's kind of cool. Lastly, you have voice recognition language. So if you've seen my Sydney to Melbourne video, you'll know that the car struggled to understand me when I said navigate to Goulburn. And I had to put on an American accent in order for the car to understand me. Now, it says British English here, so I'm assuming, you know, maybe you have to put on a British accent. But let's see. Hang on, where was the setting for that? So that's in controls, display, voice recognition. So we're going to display. Voice recognition, and yes, I have it now set to British English. So let's see if it can navigate to Goulburn. Navigate to Goulburn. Navigate to Goulburn. Okay, that's not quite right. Let's try it again. Navigate to Goulburn. I got it. Yes. Okay, so not perfect, but better. So that was all the list of updates that we got in the latest update for the Tesla Model Ys and 3s. I hope that was useful. I hope that was helpful. If I've missed anything or anything I misunderstood, again, I was just looking at this for the first time. Please let me know in the comments. If you have found this helpful, if you have found this useful, I hope you have. Please like and subscribe. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much for your support, and we'll catch you on the next one. Safe and happy driving. Now this is something that I had assumed the car did on its own, but it. Now this is something that I assumed the car did before, but it doesn't actually. Now this is something that I had assumed okay, and this time we mean it. It'll change, and it'll. Ugh.